he won without playing at his best, and that's what he can do, Dom, isn't it? I've got Dominic Dale in the commentary box with me.
Yes, good afternoon, everybody. Eagerly anticipating this match. Still best of 7 in this last 32 encounter. Ronnie O'Sullivan breaking off left-handedly, as he often does. He always feels he can get more movement out the cue ball around the angles this way. Going to be a tough match this for Matthew, potentially. He hasn't beaten Ronnie since 2003 LG Cup, but he did beat Ronnie on that occasion 5-0. But haven't played for 3 years though, so that could help.
I don't know what they're smiling about. Matthew must have said something to Ronnie, or vice versa. Ronnie's sitting in his chair with a big grin on his face at the minute as well, so it must have been funny. Very capable, of course, of Matthew in beating Ronnie. He's really is one of the best players we've had in our game. I remember when him and Paul Hunter came through at the same time, and the legend is Paul Hunter, of course, no longer with us, but they were great friends and great players. And I thought they were both going to win the World Championship. As it happens, Paul obviously not able to. Matthew may have seen his chances of winning the world go by, but he's certainly capable of winning tournaments without any question.
That's a great opening red from Ronnie. That will settle him down nicely. Near capacity audience here. And that's just the sort of atmosphere that Ronnie likes to play in. Tends to bring out the best in him. But just the same as in any match, it will take a few shots just to get the feel of the cloth, the table, the way it's playing.
Foot. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 4. Yeah, excuse me, could you just turn down your earpieces, please? It's a bit too loud. Thank you.
That's an unusual miss from Ronnie. Nothing easy for Matthew, just a safety shot.
Judged that safety really well, Ronnie. Digging down into the cube with a lot of side spin on the cue ball to take it round the angles and to avoid cannoning the reds and the black. Got to be very careful with it. Doesn't hit this too thick, otherwise you'll be catching the jaws of the pocket. Very nippy, these tables, very quick, and bar for that kiss on the green, that cue ball would have been in and out of baulk. Big target now for Ronnie. He'll try and get him behind the green as it happens off 2 cushions. That's probably what he'll try and do. He's gone 3 cushions, but that would have been his aim. We always talk about Ronnie's breakboarding being the best ever now that he's overtaken Stephen Hendry, but his all-round play, possibly only Mark Selby, is better than Ronnie at that department.
Enemies.
Well, that won't concern Matthew
Ronnie
too much. He had to get the finest edge on that red to avoid cannoning other reds on return to bolt with the cue ball. So it's better missing it altogether and having a second try at it. Can't hit this too thin, I have to emphasise. But he'll want to cannon it this time, because if he doesn't, he'll be warned that he has to hit a red on the third occasion under the 3 miss rule, for fear of losing the frame. Oh dear, that's much too thick, quite obviously. And he's left Ronnie right in amongst the reds here. Possible saviour for Matthew will be that the pink's very awkwardly positioned, the black's out of commission, the blue's off its spot, so although the reds are well placed, certainly the colours aren't.
I'm not too sure whether he's gone high enough on the blue. Obviously would like to come back down this end of the table very quickly. In a couple of shots' time he'll be able to get the pink back onto its own spot. The black's going to be tied up for quite some time. The 3 reds to the right of the pink spot, he'd like to get on that middle red of the 3, which of course then makes the path for the pink available. Can't do that this time. Well, he can get on the pink in the middle, so that's not a bad choice.
6.
Not too sure of the angle he has, whether he can play a little cannon to move the red out of the way, but doesn't really want to leave himself hampered.
7.
Always thinking so many shots in advance, Ronnie O'Sullivan. He's one of those players that wants to make every chance a frame-winning chance. He doesn't mess about getting 20 or 30. A lot of players there would have maybe just involved blue and bought colours for a while, potting the loose reds, but Ronnie realises he's got to get a big colour in play, and that's what he's done immediately.
13.
Still a bit awkward for Ronnie this. He's got the pink back on the spot, but it doesn't seem to pot anywhere that's of any use to him. Will go obviously in the right centre pocket, but well, you can play for it in the right centre pocket if he pots this red.
14.
And I think Ronnie, already 22 points ahead, will be just happy now to concentrate on reds and pinks. He won't worry about that black.
He's got the pink available into 3 of the main scoring pockets now. So it won't be too long before he's past the winning post. He's very quick break builder is Ronnie O'Sullivan. The lead goes to 35.
27.
Good recovery shot from Ronnie. I think it may have been a photographer that was in his way, putting him off. I'll bet it's Monique from Belgium.
34.
Those little things can really annoy you because you're so keyed up when you play a big match like this, and you're very overwrought. Just the smallest thing can annoy you intensely.
41. 42.
overrun that cue ball or underrun it, whichever way you want to look at it. But this is cutting back into the pocket. You'd expect him to pot it, but probably go in and out of balk. Always missable those into a blind pocket.
49.
That's not good. Such a great player with the rest all left-handed. It looks like you can only get onto the 2 reds that are nearest the cushion into the top left-hand pocket, so not bound to be perfect on this. In saying that, it's absolutely perfect. Very good shot. You'd think with him being such a great player left-handed, he didn't use the rest that often, that he might not be as good with the rest, but very rarely misses balls with the rest as well. Glance at the scoreboard will tell him he's 60 points in front. So another red and colour after this colour, and he should take the opening frame.
As you see in our graphic, he's 65 ahead, but there are only 59 remaining. I'm sure Matthew will
57.
Come out of his chair. Ronnie hasn't potted anything yet, so he hasn't really got a feel of the table, but he only needs 2 snookers.
One.
Well, he'd love to get the black back onto its own spot so it becomes easier to get a snooker and obviously get the extra few points. May concede if he misses here. Is he going to look at Ronnie? Ronnie wants him to. He has done. They have done. So Matthew Stevens didn't get a lot of chance in that opening frame. Backbreaker 57, more than enough for Ronnie to take that opening frame and lead 1-0.
Yeah, frustrating start for the Welshman Matthew Stevens. Very good afternoon to Darren Morgan with me in studio today. Darren, how do you assess that first frame there? Stevens just let Ronnie in, didn't he, midway through?
Yeah, it's only, you know, one loose shot really, a safety shot where he caught it a little bit square and hit the reds everywhere. And as we all know with Ronnie, like Willie alluded to in commentary, he made sure he got the pink out in the open straight away so as he could make his little break, and all of a sudden he's looking red hot again. Yeah,
and that may play on his mind now.
Well, you know, it's a long way to go. You know, Matthew's a class act, so it can turn around in a second. He's going to need to have his chances, and when he gets his chance, he's going to have to make him pay. He's going to have to score.
And a couple of days ago, of course, all the headlines were made by Ronnie when he complained about the venue, and he's not happy, Darren, this afternoon either. He's already complained about the noises coming through the earpieces, people listening to the commentary, and also had a word with a photographer as well. So he's not happy.
No, you know, look, Ronnie's a genius. Most geniuses have slight flaws in there. We haven't seen it for years where he's been a bit rattled or, you know, a little bit ratty. But obviously he's not happy at the minute out there, but it's a fantastic venue. It's you know, it looks fantastic playing conditions. Everything about Cardiff looks brilliant.
Well, O'Sullivan taking the early lead, 1-0 up. Let's return to Willie and Dominic.
Thank you, Ian. Matthew Stevens has just broken off. Frame 2. Well, there's a good way out with that attempted long red, Ronnie, there, but has he left Matthew anything easy to go at? First glance, it appears not. Looks to have been rather fortunate there, Ronnie.
Got to have a go at this long red though, you can't refuse this. Needs to make something happen. Look, he's still run through about 8 or 9 inches. Well, he's played safe, I'm surprised. The thing is, when you do get half a chance against Ronnie, you need to take them.
I can assure you that was probably twice as hard as the red that he just missed by a few inches. Look at that, perfect cueing from Ronnie. Not a bad kiss on the green. You can play green or brown here. Will he play the brown and take the cue ball into that pack of reds and open them up?
Yes, if he could easily get on the one above the black, he wouldn't even contemplate going into them this time, but he may have to do that, Dom, because he's ready. He may try and screw it in 2 cushions and get on the one next to the black. Well, he's trying 1 cushion. He's going to make sure he gets past that red. Well, he's played it to perfection.
5. Six. Thirteen.
Well, that was a colossal kick that Ronnie suffered there. He's fortunate, really, the cue ball ran through sufficiently to still be on this black. But Ronnie's one of these players when he does get a kick, he doesn't always have the cue ball cleaned.
21.
Well, you either play topspin and force through them or screw back off them, but one thing for certain, if we're bringing a few reds into play, could have done that white bouncing a little bit straight, it could be end of break. Just a fraction of space, a little stun run through and play the red in the middle, but the red's tough in the middle. These middle pockets are very tight. Puts a little bit more pressure on this shot, the fact that the red's over the other middle pocket as well, so if he misses it, he knows he's going to stick 2 reds up at least. Yeah, always tough, and that little bit of extra pressure.
Ronnie O'Sullivan,
the red bit in there.
There was pressure on that one. He would be leaving Matthew a gilt-edged opportunity if he missed it. Oh, but that's gone in thinly.
1.
He's okay, he's just about held okay for the green. This is clearly the best chance that Matthew's had so far. What can he do with it?
A little bit unlucky there. I think he's just come a fraction too far. Okay, he can still pop one of these reds and run through off them for the black if he wanted to. He's decided to take the red in the middle. The middle red of the 3 reds above the black just looks absolutely perfect to run through and kiss off the other reds, which would open everything up.
5.
He's got too much stun on the cue ball there. Should have come down more to the left-hand side as we look. Instead went straight towards the pack and went too far and went into them. But at least he's got a touching ball. I don't think he'll be taking the red on into the left centre. Cueing's much too difficult. But he ought to be able to play a good safety shot from where he is.
Matthew Stevens, 9.
Well, that's a very poor safety shot from Matthew. if you're going to play to get on the top cushion, you've got to get perilously close to the cushion. Okay, Ronnie's not guaranteed to pot this red, but he'll certainly be taking it on. Oh, that's a reprieve. Came right across that, didn't hit that good at all. And he's been very, very fortunate. Very fortunate to have got away with that.
Yeah, hasn't he just, Willie? Could have left a lot on there quite easily for Matthew. In actuality, he hasn't even got a decent safety shot he can play here, Matthew, with that red being in bulk. Unless he chooses to knock it back down the table, but if he did that, he wouldn't be able to guarantee a good cue ball.
Very aggressive safety shot, and looks to have played it very well. Well, it looks like Matthew's been tempted. Just red in the middle. It's going to have to go in though, because it'll be leaving everything on.
One.
Very well played. Very well played. Deserved to win the frame from that one shot.
One. Four. Five.
Well, he'll be delighted now, Matthew, when you play a real pressure shot like that. Your adrenaline flows straight the way because you know that you've played a dangerous shot, and you know now you should win the frame. And the way the balls are, you would expect him to win the frame.
11.
Now, if Matthew's careful, although it's not going to be an easy thing to do, but if he took very high value colours with these open reds, he wouldn't need that difficult red that's on that left hand side cushion there above the middle pocket. But the problem is 3 of these reds are above the pink spot, so to get back down for pinks and blacks off them, I don't know whether it's worth it really.
Yeah, good point that, Dom, but it is a long way away, isn't it? Another 6 or 7 shots before he starts thinking about that. I suppose it's not in a bad place to either play a cannon off brown or yellow onto that red, or even leave a double. You'll just be hoping he gets that far now. 4 points in front, so 3 reds, 3 blacks puts him 25 points in front. So, will, as Dominic said, now need that red. Look at the scoreboard now. He's trying to work out whether he can get past the winning post without playing the red.
$25.
Be good for Matthew if he could possibly leave this red near the right centre pocket,
31.
because he could have got on a bulk colour, cannoned it out from the yellow and still been guaranteed on this red that he's just potted.
32.
He's not going to have that sort of an option now.
play it now, but he could play on and off the cushion and remove the red out, but he'll certainly just play for the green. And then the key thing on the next red, don't get straight on this next red. Make sure you leave a half ball angle to be able to get onto one of the baulk colours with an angle to kiss that red out. And hasn't played that very well.
41.
Left himself hampered. He'd love to have that green again. He left himself plenty to do, didn't he?
Stevens, 41.
That was a really bad shot on the green.
Yeah, he powered the green in because he was too straight on it and still couldn't get on this red nicely. Tricky shot that, though, it has to say, with all the pressure attached to it as well. But at least he knows Ronnie's going to have the difficulty of that last red. And he doesn't have a good angle here on the green.
1.
If he ran the green in, he'd just miss the cannon on the red. So he may leave a double himself here, Ronnie. Well, he's perfect for the double, but there are no guarantees when you play these. Oh, good shot.
5.
Oh, needs another good one on the brown.
Well, there's a bit of pressure on that shot, but he's obviously just somebody's just taking a photo on his shot there, and he's just asking them not to do that.
9.
But what a great shot on the brown. Matthew should be 1-all. Highly likely now he's going to be 2-0 behind.
$14. $18. $23. $29.
He's perfect on the black. Doesn't need it, in fact. Highest break in this frame was a 41 by Matthew Stevens, but it's Ronnie O'Sullivan who wins the frame and increases his lead to 2 frames to 0.
Oh, it was all going so well for Stevens in that frame, Darren, and then another mistake, a missed red, and he lets O'Sullivan in again.
Yeah, well, at the start of the break, he potted an unbelievable red into the left centre, and then obviously this red then in the green pocket. It wasn't tricky due to the fact he's bridging over the brown awkward queue in, but he needed to have been a lot closer to that red and it would have been unmissable for him. But he looked really good, Matthew, especially after that opening red, because if he'd missed it, he was guaranteed to lose the frame. He'll be absolutely devastated.
He's having a bit of a smile and a laugh at the moment, but he's still not happy with the photographers around that table.
No, Ronnie seems to have it in for one of them. I don't know whether it's all of them or whether it's just one in particular, but whoever it is, he's giving him dirty looks all the time and sort of pointing his finger, so it wouldn't surprise me if he doesn't get shifted very soon.
We'll see. But he leads 2-0. It's all about moments, Darren. There was a moment in the first frame and a moment in the second as well that Stevens will reflect on and just wish he'd done better.
Yeah, well, look, the first frame was just a poor safety shot.
This is his reaction, by the way, Darren, to the photographer just a few moments ago.
Well, the only thing I can think of, when he's took the pictures, he can just hear the shutter opening and shutting on the pictures. He's down on the shot. You know. The photographers are normally good as gold. They know when to take the pictures and they know when not to. But obviously, one is bothering Ronnie, certainly bothering Ronnie.
It will be interesting to get his thoughts later on. But he leads 2-0. Willie and Dominic, back to you.
Yeah, danger signs now for Matthew. It hurts twice as much when you know you should win a frame. It doesn't hurt as much if your opponent makes 80 odd and you don't get a chance, but Matthew knows you should have won that second frame. So this now goes without saying is a key frame for Matthew. Oh, obviously photographers have a little look if I can see anybody. I can't even see anybody down in front of me, but there must be somebody moving because Matthew just got up off the shot.
That's a great red from Matthew. Obviously will be feeling very deflated after not winning that last frame with the chances that he had. Did well to cue this one in so nicely. Could have done without the cannon on the black there though. That's another good positive shot from Matthew. Just needed a trace more right hand side on the cue ball to develop the reds. Oh
6.
dear, look where this is finished. Can only hit one red and it's no use to him at all.
Yes, he'd have been delighted with that safety shot, wouldn't he? But unfortunately, he's potted the blue now and missed the cannon on the reds, as Dom just mentioned, and now he's put himself in trouble.
It's got to be mentioned, it's brilliant to be able to play in front of your home audience, you know, as a Welsh player, but the problem is Matthew hasn't had the best run of form of recent months, and you'd much prefer to play in front of your home crowd when you know your games as it should be, and you're confident and you've got some good wins behind you. But it can be very difficult sometimes. A lot of expectancy on you, but
6.
deep down you know yourself you're a bit short of your best game. And obviously playing O'Sullivan in good form, well, makes it all the more difficult.
Under normal circumstances, Matthew would be playing safe off the pack, but he can't do that with the red being to the left of the pack there, the one nearest the pocket, so he's having to play safe off that one. Got to be careful he doesn't hit into the other red and push that along the cushion. He needs the green to come to his rescue. Very, very tight this, he can almost get through to the potting angle. Decided that it's too tight.
Well, to put money on that being a touching ball somewhere. I think we're likely to have a re-rack here, Willie, aren't we? Oh, push shot.
Foul. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 4.
That was a push shot of all push shots, and I think this could be a touching ball.
It's touching ball, that's right.
Well, it won't be a re-rack now. Here's another look at the push shot. That really was.
I think it was more than a shove than a push, that Dom. It shovelled it in, didn't it? It was a strange one.
Yeah, spot of shove halfpenny.
First long shot that Matthew's taking on, and he can hold it for the black. Oh, he cued that beautifully. He thought it was in, and look where it's finished. Very unfortunate there. The only one he could leave on was the one he went for, and look where it's finished. Right at the back of the pack.
One.
As he thought he'd got it, didn't he? Well, Ronnie's showing his intentions today. Not many players would have taken that on because he wasn't certain to get onto this red. He hasn't got it nicely.
6.
But he'll be bringing pink or black into play here, if not both. Tried to bring both into play and he's got on nothing.
7.
So that's a reprieve for Matthew.
was a great shot he played. I was amazed actually he potted the long blue, because he feathered the cue ball so many times. That just told me straight away he wasn't settled on the shot mentally. But he didn't get up and regroup, he just carried on playing it and went in as clean as a whistle. Just to prove that it wasn't a fluke in the yellow pocket, decided to pop the blue in the green pocket just for good measure.
12.
That was a tremendous shot. Much, much harder than the other one, because it was pretty much half ball, that one. So the pocket wasn't in his line of vision as he struck it. It was all judgment. Oh, that was a great shot as well. Do you know, that was nearly as hard as the blue. To strike it so cleanly and get the spin on the ball and get the angle on the blue was great.
Well, the last 4 shots have been absolutely top draw. I'm sure that Matthew, sitting down, would have thought on any 4 of the last shots he's played he might be playing safe off them. He's knocked everything in. He's now developed this into a frame-winning chance. The pink's in open play now. If the pink spot's covered, he might get rid of that red now. Ideally, he'd like to probably have the
18.
pink on the black spot for a couple of shots. We decide to go for the blue rather than the pink here.
19.
Such a quick brain, Ronnie. He's always thinking, as I mentioned in the opening frame, of making every pot one that could win him the frame. He opens balls up all the time.
24. 25.
Well, I'm not suggesting he
31.
intended to leave the cue ball there, but, well, if you wanted to play the red above the black with the rest, you could have cannoned the other one away and held for the black.
32.
I may wish he did that now, because it's certainly not nicely on this pink.
Yes, went to the well once too often
Ronnie
there, didn't he?
32.
Potted 2 blues that maybe you could have played safe off, and that pink, he had to go for that one. But he knew that was virtually frame ball. Not too sure about the contact there. It looked to have dived a little bit to the left-hand jaw. I think he got half a kick there.
Yeah, did you see the little cannon there he had on the red that took the cue ball behind the black? Oh, nothing's easy for Matthew at the moment. This red to the left centre, well, I'm sure he'll take it on, but it's a difficult pot, given that he's going to have to inject some pace into it to get position. Yeah, he doesn't like it. Very lucky there, Ronnie, not to have left Matthew an easy red.
Just come down to look at the possibility of leaving a red on should he take the safety shot off the 3 reds that are together. No, has left Matthew half a chance? I don't think so. One down the right hand side, the black's in the way and he can't get back into balk anyway, so he's been a bit fortunate again, Ronnie, there.
Yeah, there aren't any gaps. He can probably screw across the face of the black, but those 2 reds just near the black spot, he'd be likely to cannon one of them. If he did find the gap, he could go across the table into the middle pocket. Oh, brilliant shot. Played it with deep screw and check side. Still cannon one of the reds. Had a kick on this as well, by the way. 2 for the price of 1. Now this black will cut in, but he's going away from the reds.
Matthew Stevens 2.
It's okay, Matthew should have won the second frame, but he has been a bit unfortunate when Ronnie's played a bad safety shot. He's not left anything straightforward, and when Matthew's played a great pot, as he did just then, didn't get nicely on the black. Oh, that's flew off the cushion, goodness me. Good job the brown was there.
That's a super shot from Ronnie. The minute he struck that, contact on the object ball was exactly the one he wanted. You would have known that there's every likelihood of leaving a red near this right corner, where he fully intended to snooker it between the yellow and the green. Now can Matthew get to the left-hand edge of the left-hand red in our picture? This is a good riposte from Matthew. Done exactly what Ronnie did, and this time Ronnie won't have an easy return back to bulk. He's got Ronnie in a bit of trouble here.
I just see Ronnie just tapping his cue on the table there, just to acknowledge that great safety shot from Matthew. Great sportsman, Ronnie. He didn't mind people playing well against him. He'll acknowledge good shots. Too sure they can get through the... I know he can't get to the potting angle. He's going to have to play a little roll up, I think. There's a gap between yellow and green, as you can see. He doesn't want to get the double kiss. If he double kisses this, he'll leave the red on. Yeah, it's double kissed. And Matthew, you should have won the second frame. You've got a chance now to win the third.
One. Eight. Nine.
Well, black still goes into this left corner. It's a good chance for Matthew to, well, certainly not win the frame from here, but amass a small lead of some sort. Don't think he can drop that red in, the one that's near the right centre pocket. I think the angle will be just a little bit too acute. Very tight, these
16.
little pockets from that sort of an angle.
17.
Of course, here the red that's just below the black on the cushion is definitely missable. So still work to do for Matthew.
$24.
Choice now, do you leave an angle on the black to move the red away from the middle pocket there or into open play, or do you get high on the black and play for the red on the back cushion? Depends just how he feels here. No,
25.
he's done neither. That's not a good shot. Now I'm going to have to leave the double. That's how bad he played the black. Played the red to get on the black, I meant, but he's put himself in a little bit of trouble now. Decided to take the double on.
32.
4 points in front. Very well done, Matthew. Very well done. These reds along the cushion are tricky though. Could have done with another inch of pace on that cue ball there, just to make sure that he can get the white away from the cushion. The pace he's going to have to play this makes the red missable. He's got to be careful here. He couldn't leave the black
41.
perfect, could he?
Yeah.
He'll have to screw around the back of the green off 2 cushions and try and get into the yellow. He could just roll it in, but it's dangerous when you just roll them in slowly. Not guaranteed to get the pace if he just rolls it in slow, so I would suggest the 2 cushion is the guaranteed positional shot. Well, he's gone for the roll, and I said you're not guaranteed to get the position right. You see, he's concentrating so hard on not over-hitting or under-hitting the shot. He just took his eye off the black. Matthew Stevens should now be leading 2-1. In a few moments' time, it could be 3-0.
2.
Yeah, I thought at the pace Matthew played the black, it would have still just about dropped. And has Ronnie left himself too straight on this green? He may not be able to get quite close to the brown here. May have to leave a very difficult brown from a good 2 feet away. Let's have a look at this black again. I mean, it always looks wide, but sometimes they can just skid in off that top jaw. Oh, he's able to
5.
just run through the pocket jaws there. Oh, but this is a tester.
Especially with it being the black where it is, because he could run it in and leave the long blue, but he can't do that where the black is, so if he plays his pacey, he's going to have to be very accurate.
Nine.
That was so difficult, I can't tell you how hard that shot was. Now he's potted 2 or 3 long blues already in this frame. He's going to need one now, one of which will win in the frame. Great shot on the brown. Well, he cued the last 2 blues pretty well. He's going to have to cue this well. Couldn't have missed it by any further, could he?
Ronnie Sullivan.
I don't think I've ever seen him miss a ball by so far. He pots the blue, he wins, he's bound to be on the pink. Look how far he missed that by. Just has to pot the blue, guaranteed to be on the pink. It's there.
5.
What a sigh of relief Matthew Stevens will be breathing. He knows he's had chances now in every frame.
11. The frame.
So Matthew Stevens, just blue and pink needed, he potted them both. So Ronnie O'Sullivan still leads the match though by 2 frames to 1.
I obviously like playing Ronnie, but I haven't beaten him for so many years. You know what he brings to the table, and you know you've got to be at your best to beat him. For some reason, me and Ding always have the worst matches. I've never beaten him. You know, if you have a good run in tournaments, you know the money can be good. But on the flip side, you know there's a lot of pressure when you struggle. You know, people slating you and stuff, but you know that's part and parcel of being a professional sportsman. I love cooking, so MasterChef's my favourite. Songs of Praise, probably. My all-time favourite, I think, is Keen. Heavy metal, can't stand heavy metal, it's just all that noise, just it's pathetic. Golf's my favourite, I like watching, you know, the final rounds of the majors. Formula 1, I just find it boring. Good Indian restaurant, yeah, it can't beat a good curry. Probably ravioli. Maths, biology I think, for no reason, I can't think of any others. The Office, that's my favourite, yeah. The Office USA, probably. I'm not on Twitter, and I go on Facebook now and again just to be nosy, see what people are doing, people saying what they're doing and that, and taking photos of their food, and you know, you go for a meal with all the boys and there's like 10 of us. There's like nine of them are on the phone like that. It's just winds me up.
I have to agree with Matthew. A number of times I've been out with players, you know, in China and places for meals, and after the meal they spend half an hour just on their phones. No interaction, no conversation at all. It's laughable really, but he's got a point. Anyway, it's a much happier Matthew Stevens breaking off for frame 4. Having won that last one, he's right back in this match.
So despondent because once he hit that, he knew he was going to kiss into the brown. Okay, this long red is on, and Matthew's already looking to play a stun run through to possibly play the black, but it's one of those that, the way Ronnie O'Sullivan's playing when he's in the balls, it's very dangerous to take this on. Maybe playing up for blue or green. Right, needs a good white, and I don't think he's got it. Brown and yellow going to be slightly hampering Ronnie for this easy red, or for this red that's in the middle of the table.
Made that one look easy, Ronnie, but I can assure you it wasn't. Queuing over the brown and the yellow, that will give him an extra boost of confidence if he was lacking any in the first place. Couldn't have played that any better. That's great judgment of pace.
Just like to finish low on the black here, which he has done, just to flick the red away from the black spot. Didn't catch it right. Hit it far too thin. He's annoyed, just threw the chalk up in the air. He's played to hit it quarter ball, and he hit it kind of
11.
Well, very, very thin, probably a 16th ball, and hardly moved it enough, but it's still on. Good recovery.
12.
Not the angle you'd have liked. He's got a choice here. He could run through off the side cushion for the red near the pocket. But he's elected to play it with a lot more power and deep screw and try and get on this red just off the end of the pack, but he's underdone that by a good foot or so. That was never going to be easy. But you may better pot this and just glance off that little shelf of reds up for pink or blue here. Oh dear. Cue ball's in, isn't it?
Foul. Ronnie O'Sullivan 19, Matthew Stevens 4.
Well, lost control there, didn't he, Willie, early on in that little break?
Well, from looking so comfortable out there in the first 2 frames, all of a sudden now he's looking vulnerable. Missed the blue by a mile, missed that by a long way. In his first 2 matches, he didn't seem to settle at all, even though he won them both. Always been a great long potter, as Matthew. That's a good example of that there. The angle is good on the pink. He's not guaranteed to hit one of these reds full enough to be able to bring reds into open play. He's just hoping he can screw across the face of the pack and get on the bottom red. That's what he's played on that bottom red.
7. Eight. Foul. Murphy Stevens, 8. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 5.
It was always going to be difficult to generate the pace with accuracy there for Matthew to dislodge any reds and be on anything. I thought there, though, he had the angle to run through off 2 cushions into them.
He can get through to this red, and he's just thinking, if I take it on and just stop the white where the red is, I'm not going to leave anything on. Probably could do with just screwing back about 3 or 4 inches, because I think the red will be cut up into the middle if he doesn't screw back 2 or 3 inches. This is a tester though, you've got to cue perfectly to pot these. And I guess that wasn't perfectly. I get a chance to show you there, and when we look down the line of Matthew playing that last long pot, we'll show you it again in a second. And now just look where he's aiming. It looks like he's aiming 2 or 3 inches up the cushion, and that's exactly where he's hit. We were looking directly behind the line there, and that was just a misjudgment. And that's something that comes. It's hard to say this, but the older you get, all of a sudden your alignment is not natural. You know, you have to work on your alignment, and you have to work on your, the way you're cueing and things like that. And that's just something that comes with age. He thought that was the line, and we could clearly see from that angle that he was definitely, aiming to the right of the pocket.
So that's why I'm struggling then, really, is it? Yeah. Yes, the way your eyes work as well as you get older becomes different. It takes you longer to focus from one ball to another. As Matthew again comes across that shot. Again, it was awkward cueing, jacking the butt in the air to cue over the brown and the yellow. Actually, it was the pink that was hindering Matthew there. I haven't mentioned it yet, but there's an incredible number of kicks out there. Nearly every shot's a kick of some form. And when you play anything from any distance with any pace, you're always getting a kick.
Little bit unlucky there. You'd expect once he got the cannon he would leave the cue ball at this end of the table. That hasn't worked at all. And the safety's not guaranteed. He can hit the red on the cushion and come back into balk. Could do with playing with very thin with the right hand side here, just to try and get in towards the brown off 2 cushions. when he's played the pot. That is very reckless. Is entitled to finish right over the middle. But it
Ronnie
hasn't.
O'Sullivan, 6.
Took a very risky shot on there.
I can promise you as well that Ronnie thinks his tip's too hard. He's not happy with the reaction he's getting out the ball. I don't think he's happy with the sound of the strike either, which again is telling Ronnie that his tip's quite firm.
Well, is he playing another pot? What's wrong with the half ball safety up and down? That's the one I thought he would play. I thought he was taking the pot on the way he was queuing. Now Matthew has an absolutely natural angle to go around the back of the black here in potting this red, but it's one of those, if you catch it thick, you kiss the black. It's absolutely perfect to go around the back of the black, but you obviously got to get it. There it is, there's the natural angle. Kiss it thick, he kisses the black. If you hit it perfect, you go around the back, and he deserves to get onto a colour after that.
Just unfortunate for Matthew that you just see in the picture that red was still by the pink spot, so playing the pink would have been Matthew's shot choice had the pink spot not been occupied, so he took the green instead.
4.
And this time all the reds are on here for Matthew, so this is, from his point of view, a frame-winning opportunity. If he can just
5.
keep his composure, mind his work, there's every chance here he could level this match up here.
Well, he had a red like this, didn't he, in the balk area that he missed in the second frame. Can't seem to get this one though, we've got to be careful.
13.
Let's open the two reds up now, so just a case of minding your work here, and you can level at 2-2.
Playing the red nearest this left corner because the one nearest the cue ball, if you ran it in, the black wouldn't pass. Oh, jeez, he nearly missed that.
21.
Tiny kick again on it, but whew. Well, he's played for one of the more difficult reds here, and well,
28.
just about okay, I think, to get on the black.
29.
He's made well over 250 centuries in his
36.
career, and it just shows you what a great break builder he is as well. So he knows this is the kind of chance you need to win a frame at one visit. He's 19 in front and counting, so just the 3 reds are enough.
$44. Yeah. 45.
I couldn't really have a worse angle on this black than the one he's got. He's got to play deep screw here off the side cushion for the red in the same pocket. Yeah, good shot. Now I'd like to play on the blue here, Matthew.
52.
Although it's not particularly important because a red in any colour here will secure this frame, barring snookers.
53.
I want to leave myself an easier frame ball than this.
Yes, the brown's in the way, just to roll it in to try and play for the red in the middle. So if he's going to play the blue, he may have to screw around 2 cushions to get on it. But the key thing is definitely potting the blue. See, the brown was always going to be in the way if he played it harder. He just played it dead weight, so that's a good shot. If he played it a fraction harder, he'd have kissed the brown.
58.
Well, I'm sure Ronnie O'Sullivan won't get out of his chair now. Matthew's definitely levelled this match up at 2-all. Similar frame to the last, really. 41 break from Matthew in the last frame, although he lost it.
68.
Actually, no, he won that. There's actually been a 41 break from Matthew in the last 2 frames, which have been his highest. Lost the second frame with the 41 break, won the last.
71.
Well, this is a great break from Matthew. Can't quite make a century, of course, but this will give him a lot of confidence. This time when he has had a good chance, he's taken full advantage of it.
75.
Made a frame winner. And this is more like the Matthew Stevens we used to see in his heyday. Great break builder,
80.
great potter, very confident looking player. And he's beginning to look like that now. Well, the pink's not going to reach, but Matthew won't mind.
Matthew Stevens,
That
80.
superb break of 80 from Matthew Stevens. He's drawn level with Ronnie O'Sullivan. It's 2 frames all.
So Matthew Stevens right back in this game. We'll see how it
As wide as
unfolds
possible,
in just a
please.
few
Thank you.
moments. But let's bring you news of a bit of a shock elsewhere. And Joe Perry, the world number 13, he's off home after a 4-2 loss to Gary Wilson, who's 61st in the world rankings. And Wilson will now play the winner of Jamie Cope against Neil Robertson, which will bring you later here on the programme. So, Darren, he's in it. He's back in it, Stevens.
Well, it's a lot better than what it was about 40 minutes ago. You know, 2-0 down, all of a sudden he had a chance in the second frame to have levelled the match at 1 each. He didn't. We all said he'll be hurting from that, and Ronnie could run away with it, and all of a sudden, match is back on.
Yes, and as opposed to the first 2 frames when Matthew let Ronnie in, Ronnie there just gave Matthew the opportunity to clear up there at the table.
Well, yeah, in the third frame, Matthew looked like he was going to win again. He chucked Ronnie a lifeline to pinch it. Ronnie, you know, failed to pinch it, and that frame there, then Ronnie played a couple of loose shots, it has to be said. And Matthew Stevens, you know, back to his very best in that frame anyway, done a terrific break.
He hasn't beaten
Ronnie
him
O'Sullivan to
for
break.
12 years, Matthew, against Ronnie. Can you see that happening this afternoon?
It's best of 3 now. Anything can happen. If he continues to play like he is, he's got every chance, you know. Like he said at the start, it's best of 7. This is probably his best chance.
Nicely poised. It's 2-2.
Yeah, I agree with Darren. It's anybody's game now, but I think Matthew is going to have as good a chance as ever in beating Ronnie here. I don't think he's had his normal self. He's not been confident in the opening 2 matches especially. Looked great in the first 2 frames, but since those, he's looked vulnerable.
1.
As mentioned earlier, Matthew always been a great long potter. What a chance this is to get a few points on the board.
8.
Yes, he's up for this now, Matthew. He's fancying this now.
9.
2 frames all, having been 2-0 behind. The ascendancy and the confidence, it would seem, is with Matthew at the moment.
16. 17.
There's a beautiful gap there. The 3 reds just above the black. That one right in the middle there. That's where he's looking. Kiss that one full ball, and everything will happen. You'll open reds into both corner pockets. Don't have to play it too pacey. Well, he just screwed it. He had to stun into it. He had to stun into them. Matthew screwed into them. Just play the little stun up into that gap, and he screwed it in.
Yeah, it's a strange one, this. In some regards, if there aren't any reds on it, could have been better for Matthew if that red had gone in the middle pocket. He's now got a problem of not leaving Ronnie the opportunity to knock it in with another red. He's looked at trying to jab down on the cue ball and pot a red in the left-hand corner pocket here, but you wouldn't be looking at that ordinarily. It's just that red being over that middle pocket, he's got a problem here.
Well, also if he runs off it, Ronnie's going to find some sort of plan to play one onto the red over the middle, surely. This is dangerous, playing this shot. Really playing the double.
Matthew Stevens, 24.
Okay, I suppose you consider he may have felt he was a little unlucky when he went into the pack off the black, but you mentioned earlier it would have been perfect just to stun up into that gap, and now has Ronnie got any sort of plan to red onto red? If he has, it could be very, very dangerous. Yes, he does pot this. Just goes by the outside of the pack.
1. Six. 7.
That's 2 more consecutive kicks. One off the blue, one off that last red. Well, how's that cue ball gone through those reds like that?
9.
Well, certainly not on an easy red, but he's got a choice of a couple.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 9.
Well, it wasn't straightforward, but certainly didn't expect O'Sullivan to miss it. Oh, but that red jumped, didn't it? Was that another kick? Did it mean the difference between him potting it and not potting it? Ronnie will know.
One.
It's a hard match to call at the minute, isn't it? Both players are giving the opponent chances. Matthew certainly looks the more likely of the two to win the match at the moment. Matthew appears to be only missing when he loses position. He's not missed anything easy in the last couple of frames, whereas Ronnie has missed a couple of shots. No problem with the slow plant. He doesn't have to do anything with the cue ball.
5.
I don't think he'd be happy really, Matthew, the way he played that plant.
12.
He certainly didn't want this red to be right on the cushion where it is. No problem though.
13.
Lead of 28 points, a black to follow, you'd think. Just got to control the cue ball from here, Matthew.
20.
These reds are slightly in one another's way. One's around the pink spot area. There's one loose one on the left hand side that will pot, but after that the other 5 all sort of blocking each other.
He'd love that cue ball to be 2 inches further to the left so he could stun and get top side of the blue. He's top side, but can't generate a lot of pace. He may have to play for the one remaining loose red. He's just coming around to have a look how far he can run through the blue to get on that red. The one behind the pink may pot. It's close, isn't it? He could run through and get on either of those two reds. I mean, the one he'd love to get on is the one next to the pink, but it's a bit dangerous, so he's playing the more difficult shot on the blue to get onto the outside red. Has he gone too far? He's gone too far. These super fine cloths, that shot is now, years ago on the thicker cloth we used to play, and that was such an easy shot to play a hold. But they're so skiddy, aren't they?
They are, Willie, but surely he could have just dropped that blue in and he'd been fine on this red. Okay, he'd have been a couple of feet further away from it, but you wouldn't expect to miss the red afterwards. I'd be disappointed there, Matthew, because he knows playing Ronnie that if he gets a chance amongst these balls, he's so good at accumulating points and making breaks. Well, the way the reds are, you know, it's, if Ronnie did get a chance straight away, I think you'd make him a slight favourite to win the frame.
Yeah, you'd have to say whoever pots the next red will win the frame. Because you'd expect either of the players, Ronnie A to clear up, or B, Matthew, to get the 30 points he needs to win the frame. So the next red is going to be the important one in this frame.
I don't like the shot Matthew's looking at here. For me, the safest shot to play is a red that's actually near this top cushion. If he plays a thin one off this, he's got to be very careful he doesn't knock something over this right corner. Ah, good shot, he's played it into the black. In fact, that's really good for Matthew, he's put the black safe, so that's a very good shot.
Yeah, because of that great safety shot that Matthew played at his previous visit, it's now not the next red game as far as Ron is concerned. That one shot has made Matthew a strong favourite for this frame. The red is obviously on, but if he plays it plain ball, he can only play for the blue. He won't be able to hold for the pink.
One.
Short of pace makes this red a little bit missable. Oh, good shot, and he's done very well there, Ronnie, to hold the blue, hold for the blue. It's a good chance this to get right back in the frame, but I think Matthew will be very pleased that he's put that black on that side cushion.
The next three reds and three pinks are no problem, but
30.
That red being on the cushion, it's hard to get onto the pink from that one. That's why that black being where it is definitely going to maybe give Matthew an extra chance.
$19. $20.
So he's 21 points behind. 2 more reds and pinks, I'll put him all square. So should he clear, of course, up to the pink, he won't need the black.
26. $27.
Got the perfect angle on the pink there, Ronnie, but this is the shot now. That's the key to this frame here for Ronnie. If he
33.
pots this and gets good position on the colour, you'd have to fancy him.
54.
Well, how many players would have played it at that pace? It must be the way to play them on these tables. Maybe the harder you play them, as long as you're pretty accurate, maybe
37.
the pocket takes them. I'm amazed he played at that speed. I thought he'd be playing for the pink in the middle.
39.
So up to and including the pink, to be sure.
42.
It's a frame that Matthew, as in the opening
46.
2 frames, had chances to win. Been very topsy-turvy this match, hasn't he? Virtually every frame could have gone either way, apart from the first.
51.
But it's the Rocket who's going to take a 1-frame lead.
7.
He has done. What a fabulous
Ronnie
break of
O'Sullivan.
57. Matthew must have thought when he put the black safe it could come to his saviour, but it didn't do. Ronnie O'Sullivan now leads 3 frames to 2. And Dom, it's been a strange match, isn't it? They keep kind of throwing chances to each other. It's like a tennis match almost.
Yeah, it is. It's been an interesting one, this. At that particular time, I fancied Matthew to win that frame, but it was Ronnie that made that great clearance, as he so often does. And, well, he's got to be the more confident one now.
Yeah, it's so difficult to call, Darren, isn't it? Where's this match going to go?
Oh, Matthew's going to be absolutely devastated there. Dominic alluded to in the commentary, you know, he was on the blue, and all he had to do was drop the blue in. He'd have had the red to the left of the pink, and he tried to be a bit clever, as we can see here, and just stand down and get close to the red. And he just lost the cue ball. No pot, but if he got on that red, it's all over. He'd take the lead, and as it is, Ronnie's pinched another frame from him.
So as the guys in the commentary box are saying, just handing opportunities to each other, aren't they? And the other one taking advantage.
It is, but it's been a good match. Both players are playing really well. It's just a couple of unforced errors, a couple of silly mistakes here and there, but it's been very good quality. But it could have gone either way.
Ronnie's popped off for a couple of moments. While we've got the opportunity, how do you assess Matthew Stevens' game at the moment? He got 2 4-3 wins on Monday in rounds 1 and 2. Where do you think he is at the moment?
Well, you know, look, Matthew's always been a class player, and when he's on his game, you know, he's an handful for anybody. I mean, you don't get top 8 in the world, and when the events that he's won, you know, you'd argue to say that he probably should have been world champion, and it hasn't happened for him. But he's feeling good. Talking to him, he's relaxed, and he's been putting a lot of work in, and he's happy with his game. And if he's happy with his game and he plays well, he can turn anybody over.
Big frame then for Matthew Stevens. He's breaking 3-2 down.
Best of 7, of course, now, so no interval. It's certainly been a test for both these players today. They've both been pushed. Whoever comes out victor in this match will be pretty pleased with himself. It's been a test. Ronnie's very unlike Ronnie O'Sullivan to catch baulk colour. He's one of the best safety players in the game.
Yeah, it's the inconsistency of the cushions. Sometimes they're sliding and sometimes they're coming off a bit square, and it's It's a common enough problem to have, catching the baulk colours, because of that.
That's careless, Matthew. One thing you can't do is hit the blue. Okay, in the baulk colours, you're leaving a long pot on, but once you hit the blue, you're leaving a pot on from half the distance. And this red to the left of the pink will pot. Just not enough side, or slightly thicker on the red, and you want to caught the blue. I mean, normally you could play this very slow with right hand side and get onto the black, but I think Dominic's mentioned a couple of times about his tip not being as nice as he would like. It makes his shot dangerous. Might play a little kiss. Is he playing? Yeah.
One.
Once again, going back to the olden days, Dom, as far as I was concerned, that shot drag with side was an easy shot to play. It's not easy on these cloths.
No, because there's very little friction on these cloths. They're so shaven, it's almost like your stubble if you run your hand over it, and basically it's that lack of friction that you get like an opposite deflection. If you play a shot with right hand side, you sort of get left hand movement with the ball, and it's a lot of judgment required to play them well. As you see, he's digging his fingernail into that tip. He just wants to assess how hard or soft it is. He's not happy with it.
Matthew thinking of playing around the back of the black? There's a couple of safety shots you can play. This is very dangerous 3-2 behind. He's not guaranteed to get a good white here either. That was very risky. Until then. Little wry smile from Matthew, realises he's had a result there.
Yeah, that's a lucky need. Fortune favours the brave, they say, but Ronnie is going to enjoy this next shot. He's going to try and clip one of the reds off that little cluster of 5 below the pink there, and I reckon he's going to try and come off 3 or 4 cushions in behind the green here. Let's see if he does play that. It's the sort of shot he'll enjoy playing. You've got a real good target for the cue ball. Let's see if he does play this. Yeah. Just caught the blue, but it's still a very effective safety. That's a good shot from Ronnie.
The middle red of the 3 reds to the right of the pink is the one he'll be taking to get the cue ball in behind the brown spot area there. But this could go wrong. If he hits it too thin, he kisses the red on the cushion. If he hits it too thick, he doesn't get back in the baulk. So it's not nice, this one. That's why I decided on an alternative. He's actually planning to screw back into baulk. He'd better hope the red hits the jaws. He didn't get the desired screw, did he? didn't, and usually he's blessed with cue power. I don't know what happened there.
No, what it is, he's had so many jobs done on his cue over the years, Matthew. He's ended up with a very, very forward balanced cue, and they're no good for shots like that. It'd be great for topspin, but his cue's not that good for deep screw bats like that, as a more backward weighted cue would be. And that's the reason he hit it beautifully. It's just the cue isn't ideal for that type of shot that he's using.
One.
Well, Matthew can only hope now that Ronnie plays a poor positional shot. Pink in open play, the black will be shortly, but Ronnie could find himself 40 or 50 points in front before he has to move the black.
Well, there's an audible sigh from Ronnie there when he potted that green. He felt it jumped in the air a mile, but the red he finished on just couldn't have been better, as you can see from the resulting cannons there and position on the black. Well, this just could be the beginning of the end for Matthew. There's one player you don't like to see in these positions, it's Ronnie.
12. Thirteen. 20. 21.
Very rarely do you see Ronnie O'Sullivan miss from a position like this. A lot of players sometimes, when they know it's a frame winning chance and match winning chance, they tend to be ultra careful. The top 4 or 5 players in the world are so used to doing it, it's just like it's another frame.
28.
That's the art, isn't it, Dom? Playing matches and frames and making believe it doesn't mean anything when it means everything.
Yes. It's an interesting attitude to try and cultivate that one. Sometimes when you think you've got that exact balance between playing as though it means nothing but yet it means everything, you can be a little bit too casual sometimes and play the odd careless one. Wow.
Ronnie O'Sullivan,
Rare
35.
miss.
Yeah, I've got to admit it was a poor shot, the previous shot. He had to flick a little bit of side on there to try and turn it over and just didn't get enough side on.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was, Willie. Couldn't actually get the potting angle of that red without using heavy spin to try and deflect it towards the pocket.
Well, apart from the first frame, every other frame has been so topsy-turvy. We've never known who's going to win the frame till the very last minute. Both players they're probably having more chances than they'd expect. They're getting 2 and 3 chances a frame at the minute. I wouldn't have expected that at the start of the match.
Three. Four.
Once again, Matthew will have every opportunity to get right back into this frame, but there are a couple of very tricky reds to get on, namely the one right by that right centre pocket, which won't pot. He'll have to deflect it because from the cushion rail, because he won't be able to leave himself a double on that. It's too close to the jaw. Doesn't mind these reds down the cushion, Matthew, does he? Oh, this is definitely tricky. Can't just drop it
11.
in dead weight. Oh, good shot. Good shot.
12.
Now, which red will he play for? Could have played a cannon to those two reds below the pink, but had the natural angle to just rebound off the left-hand side cushion for the red.
19.
Good position here, Matthew. Still 17 points behind. But every chance to possibly win this frame here if he can cannon
20.
that red away from the side cushion successfully.
$27. 28. $34.
Now the work starts, he's got to start to consider leaving the angle on pink or black in a couple of shots' time to play that cannon that Dominic's talking about. If the blue had been on its spot, he'd play to get onto the red that is closest to the cue ball now, and then play that, pot the red and move the red off the cushion, but he daren't risk that because of the blues on its spot. Oh, you're kidding me, Dom.
Matthew Stevens.
Got to concentrate.
35.
Just took his eye off it. Concentrated so hard on getting position, took his eye off the pot.
Ah, dear. Yeah.
1.
Just a slight loss of focus, as Willie said there. Too much eye on the position on the next red. Or at least Ronnie's going to have the problem with that red near the middle pocket. Now, does the black pass the pink into the left corner?
4.
It may well do. Yes. So Ronnie will probably just roll this red in quite slowly. He'll want plenty of angle on this black.
Another sigh from Ronnie, knowing that once he'd hit it, he knew that he wasn't going to get an angle to be able to play the cannon. Can he bounce it off the cushion and get the cannon? You're not going to believe me, but he played to move the red out there.
12.
Amazing when you think it was just off straight and he developed that kind of angle. Well, he decided to go all out for victory.
13.
That was very risky. Well, it's been a great match, hasn't it? I mean, Matthew will be so despondent knowing that Ronnie was there for the taking today. And he may still well be.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 15.
Can you believe that? I don't think I've ever seen Ronnie miss the game ball in the last frame of a match for a long time. Matthew just having a little glance at the commentary box and raised his eyebrows. He must have thought he was out.
Wow, that's an amazing miss from Ronnie. When do you ever see him miss a ball like that at such a crucial stage? Lucky it wriggled safe to the side cushion, the bolt cushion rather. So close to being a great shot. If Ronnie can hit this yellow thin, he could put Matthew in trouble here.
Now, can he avoid the kiss on the pink in playing this yellow? We'll have a little look at the line of this shot to see whether he can miss the kiss on the pink. If he can't miss the kiss on the pink, he's going to have to play a stun run through to miss that cannon. The natural plain ball shot is kissing the pink, so he's going to have to play a stun run through and try and get in the gap between the pink and black. But then he's not bound to get into the green. He's got to take it on though, whatever happens.
Yeah, it's a shame for Matthew because I don't think the green will pass the brown, and it's one of those shots, if he plays this with a lot of pace and plays it well, the cue ball will be actually going towards that bulk pocket past the blue. Too much stun. But what a great effort that was. He's purposely forced around the angles there for the green into its own pocket. I think he had to play it the way he did. That's about as good as he could have done from there.
Well, he's got Hobson's choice here. He's trying to swing it around the back of the brown and leave the cue ball somewhere a bit higher up than it is now. He can't get onto the brown nicely, but he can certainly swing it around two cushions and have some sort of pot on the brown. Is it this good? Needs that white to travel. Needs it to travel. Oh, this is tricky.
Yeah, this is a tough brown for somebody who doesn't like the rest. He's going to have no choice but to use it. There's a lot of pressure on this brown because if he plays it the way he should play it, it's going to be virtually pocket weight. So he knows he must pot this brown, Matthew. If he doesn't pot it, it's going to be over the pocket for Ronnie.
Very good. And it's amazing enough, this blue is now a little bit easier because he can play it as a shot to nothing, screwing around three cushions, and this takes the pressure off this blue. The fact that he can screw it around three cushions, knowing that he's going to get a good white, because he wants to leave the white right on this back cushion to get onto the pink. A little bit of movement in the crown, but funny enough, if the pink had been on its spot, Dom, this would be a twitchy blue, wouldn't it? But the fact that he can play it as a shot to nothing takes the pressure off the pot.
Oh, good shot from Matthew. Yeah, as you say, Willie had every chance there to just play the cue ball to this top cushion, knowing he'd be perfectly on the pink. He's just got an angle on this pink to force it off the side cushion for the black in the opposite corner. It's a power shot, but he'll be happy enough with this angle.
20.
Forced it out without the aid of the cushion instead, and this black is for 3-all. Ronnie made a break of 35 in this frame. Matthew's made a 35. But it's that little 27 clearance at the end from Matthew Stevens enables him to draw level with Ronnie O'Sullivan at 3 frames all. We're into a decider.
And perhaps the look on Ronnie O'Sullivan's face there towards the end kind of says it all, really.
Well, that's just unbelievable. I mean, you're never going to see Ronnie miss an easier ball than that to win a match, you know. He doesn't miss anything, but this yellow, he popped this 100 out of 100. This is the one that was the 101. And obviously, Matthew's relieved. He had another opportunity. And what a clearance Matthew's done then. Some really, really classy shots he played.
At that point, though, we are thinking it's all over for Matthew, aren't we? We're dead and buried, and then Ronnie misses that yellow.
Well, when he's behind the yellow, we're all saying that's it. He's gone. You know, that's it. That's the end of him. And he'd have looked back today. He's had his chances. He could have won. Well, now he could still win. It's 3 each, just match back on. But you know, that will hurt Ronnie, knowing that he should be in here now doing his interview with you.
Yes, we were getting ready for Ronnie. The chair was almost out, but it'll all come down to the final frame, the 7th frame. How do you call this one? What's going to happen? Where's the initiative lie now? Who's got the most confidence?
It's 1 frame shootout now, and obviously there's going to be a slight bit of momentum with Matthew to the fact he's just done a good clearance and Ronnie missed that easy yellow. But you know, this is a flip of the coin. This.
Yeah. What does your instinct say? Because he had some wobbly moments on Monday, did Ronnie, and he's been pushed all the way again this afternoon.
Obviously, I'm Welsh, so I want Matthew to win today. My instincts say it's a flip of a coin.
We've got another shot here to show you, Darren. Have a look at this one. This is Matthew on the brown, but a great pot here.
This had to go in. It's horrible. He's had to play it with lots of bottom to take the pace out of the cue ball. It's one of them. If it doesn't go in, he knows he's lost the match. He's played it very well, and then he played a really good blue straight after it. So it was a great clearance.
Yeah, I mean, you made a point a few moments ago. I mean, people like Ronnie play so well. They're almost machine-like sometimes, aren't they? But in this game, we're seeing that these players are only human.
That's right, that's my exact words I just said to someone now, you know. He just proved that someone as good as him and as talented as him, and obviously right at the top of his game and has been for the last couple of years, that yellow, he would pot 1,000 out of 1,000.
What's going through Ronnie's mind as he sits here looking, thinking, picking his fingernails?
Well, I don't think there's much going through it, to be honest. He'll just be getting ready now. He knows it's 3-all. If he wants to continue the defence of his title, he's got to buckle down now and win this last frame. If he doesn't, he's on his way home, the same as a lot of players that's already gone on this week.
Little ripple of applause tells you that Matthew Stevens is back at the table. So here we go then, the final frame decider.
The customary handshake as the players get down to play the last frame. And I think in fairness on what we've seen, okay, Ronnie should have potted that yellow to win 4-2, but I think on reflection of the match, the balls that Ronnie's missed, I think 3-3 is about a fair reflection on what we've seen so far this afternoon. And there's no natural angle here to go around the back of him. Unless he plays it slow. If he plays it slow, he can go around the back of the black. He thought, I mean, I must admit, the angle I was looking at, it was the same one that Matthew thought. If he got anywhere near the pot, he'd go around the back of the black, and he just misjudged it. And Dominic's talked about kicks. I mean, from our commentary vision, the natural angle was definitely going around the back of the black, and he's hit the black full ball. Strange. May have been half a kick.
1.
That was such a tricky shot to play. Black down the cushion, knowing he had to inject some pace in it to get this side of the reds. That's well controlled from Ronnie. Deep screw back off the pack, this reverse side to bring the cue ball back down towards the black. Well, audible sigh from Ronnie tells me he didn't think that he'd be getting any secondary cannons there.
16.
He's fortunate to still be on a red.
$17. $24.
Not too sure whether he can play this outside red to get onto the black nicely, because that's why he's taking the one in the middle. Both are kissing into other balls, and maybe better off just running through for the blue, or even bought colour. Just coming around to see if the blue does pass the red. He was going for a maximum for a second, but it won't be now.
$25.
I'm sure there's not a lot of room for this blue to go by the red. And he's left himself a little bit to do with the cue ball, in and out of balk. Yeah, it's just, he needs to be straight on that.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 25.
Ronnie's concentration at the minute is very poor.
Yes, didn't even nearly go past the red. Look where he's cannoned it to. It's a great chance for Matthew now. If he can leave himself a nice angle. He's got a choice here.
One.
He can play the brown into the cluster and develop everything and give himself an immediate chance to win frame and match, or he can play for one of the two loose reds. Just depends how he sees it at the time and what sort of angle he's got on the brown. Just had a look to see. Obviously the blue's in a bit of an awkward position. It's blocking the black into the left corner.
Yes, he'd love to get that blue out of the way. Straight the way now.
5.
The only thing is, he's going to have to finish low on the blue, which means he's taking the white away from the next red. Needs to get that blue out of the way. So black, red, try and get on the blue and try and get into the bunch. Oh dear. Oh dear. Why would he not play that cannon?
He's out of position now. I'd
13.
like to see that shot again. I thought that cue ball flew off this cushion. Let's have a look. Oh, it's fast. But he tempted to cannon the red just below the one that he cannoned. So I don't think the bad bounce, if there was indeed one, cost him position there. It's just a slight lack of control of the cue ball. And I think Ronnie will be very relieved that his mistake only cost him 13 points.
What a fluke.
14.
Well, the only problem with that fluke is he's almost forced into taking this brown on now. This is a lot more difficult than the yellow that Ronnie missed in the previous frame. Very well done. That was tough. Okay, he got a fluke, but that was a really tough round to play at this stage of the match.
18.
Yeah, brilliant brown that is from Matthew. He's got a lot of courage, Matthew, and that's what you need in a situation like this. Bravery, courage. They're all the things that just keep you together on those pressure shots. Yeah, this has got to be the red he plays. If he plays the one by the pink, he's going into no man's land. Oh, good shot. Perfect shot.
Ronnie had a chance to win frame and match in the last frame. Matthew's got a chance
24.
to win frame and match now. Just as soon as he gets rid of the black, the red above the black, it's a frame and match winning chance. Until then, he's got a little bit of work to do.
$31.
Could get onto that red now. He's just drifted an extra couple of inches further. If it had been a bit straighter on the blue, he could have played for that red above the black. The fact that it's gone where it is now, he may play a little cannon onto the two reds just to slow the white down. Played it onto the pink. Oh dear, could that tie things up? That's the reason I suggested play the cannon onto the two reds. That couldn't happen.
Yes, that's made things much more difficult for Matthew now. Going to have to play for the blue. Oh, he's cannon the pink. Oh dear.
38.
Yeah, he's very annoyed with himself there, Matthew. Black doesn't go, pink won't go in the left centre. The red's blocking the blue, so like before he had that fluke on the red, it must be end of break now.
Well, for the 6th frame on the trot, it's been exactly the same. Both players needing 2 chances at least to win it. There's still no nearer knowing who's going to win this match.
Yeah, Matthew in frame 4 made a break of 80, but there's been 2 50s from Ronnie, 2 41s from Matthew, 30 breaks from each player, so it does speak of a match that's been littered with opportunities but not fully taken ones.
In the frame that Matthew made 80, Ronnie was 30 odd points in front before he made 80. You know, it's like I said, it's been
Ramble.
2 chances every frame. Will Matthew get another chance in this frame?
Matthew Stevens, 38.
Well, that is unbelievable. He couldn't have hit that safety shot worse. Okay, he's left a pot on for Matthew, but boy, it's a lot more difficult than the red would have been next to the green. Somebody coughing in the audience, I'm sure by accident. I'm sure nobody would have done it on purpose. You can tell this large capacity audience are on Matthew's side, and he's played such a good pot and so unlucky to finish straight. Can he force an angle to get onto the red next to the pink? He has done. Well, Matthew, you'll never get a better chance to beat Ronnie O'Sullivan than this.
6.
Shame really, because he can't get on the black from this red. 2 reds and 2 blacks, and Ronnie could only draw, but Matthew is going to need that
7.
red that's by the green. So it's not quite all over yet. Matthew still needs a few good shots in order to win the frame of match from here. But what a great chance he's given himself.
I honestly think, Dom, the angle he's got on the blue, he should play for the red next to the green now. I thought he'd have played it off the ball cushion with the side. He's going to have to play the snooker now, I think.
Matthew Stevens, 12.
Well, it goes without saying he's trying to rest on this red over the pocket there. Well, he's not even played that red. Misjudged it. Played 2 cushions for the red that's down this end of the table. His concentration this last couple of days has been very poor.
One.
Oh, Matthew would love to play that one again. There wasn't any reverse side, right hand side on the cue ball to draw it up the table towards the black, which is on its spot. And because of that, he's very low on this. This is definitely a very, very tricky shot. Can't hold for the red. What he may think of doing is rolling the black in. He may think he's going to get a half ball cannon on the pink, which will leave him on the red. No. Oh, Matthew.
Matthew Stevens, 1.
Well, for me that wasn't a kick. He just underhit that. Misjudgment. Chance of snooker Ronnie there behind the pink. Oh, it's getting tense.
Just had a little look whether the cross double's on. Well, he's not hit that very well. I think there may be a gap here. Can he get through to the red? Not quite. Oh, but it's strange to me, Ronnie. He's actually tried to pot that for some reason.
One.
Well, for all intents and purposes, that should be frame and match ball.
6. Matthew Stevens, 6.
Barring snookers, Matthew Stevens will be into the last 8.
2. Five.
So 27 behind. He was actually trying to get onto the brown, then to pot it, so he only needs 1 snooker to tie. What's he played there?
Ronnie O'Sullivan,
May have
5.
done him a favour putting pink and black together. So.
Foul.
Well, there goes the concession. Matthew Stevens, for the first time in 12 years, has beat the great Ronnie O'Sullivan. Both players have had chances in every frame, but Matthew Stevens comes out the victor by 4 frames to 3 and gets himself into the last 16 of this tournament.